Hello, my friends. Let's put you over here. There we are. Maybe that's better. Nope. I think this is better. Hold on. There we are. That might be better. Hold on. Good. There we are. Like that. There we are. Let's get you coming in here. Hello, my friends. We are live. We are both on YouTube and Instagram. We are in a small cabin in Norway. We are in a small cabin in Norway. You can see a little ship in the back. The ship that probably from my grandfather or something like that. So it's a little shine, but we are in the ship. So it's pretty warm here in Norway right now. Usually we come and talk from Chicago, but I thought we stop by today and talk a little bit more about awakening, and also about the upcoming retreat in a couple of weeks, in almost 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks in Norway. So we're kind of setting the environment, setting the energy. This is kind of a closure. Like we kind of had a retreat here almost 7 years ago, and now we've gone through a circle of kind of release, as we kind of have to look at, like, we have to kind of look at how we communicate with our friends, our family, our ego, how we kind of connect with our girlfriends, our friends, our family, our kids, our parents, work. So that is kind of the intention awakening, which we all kind of are engaged in. We are all engaged in awakening, and thus we have to kind of dare to contemplate and open ourselves up to, like, look beyond what we already know. More people coming in. That's cute. Um, so that is why we have these retreats. We kind of open them up to open ourselves up to receiving, as we're so trained. Our ego, which we kind of create, is like the matrix that we connect to all of life. The ego is kind of the matrix. It's kind of our connection to the energy of our ancestors, of our culture, of our nation, of our gender, of our personality, of our time. So it shifts from time to time. Thus, that's where, like, sometimes techniques kind of fall away because they don't really, they're attuned to a certain time, a certain place, a certain mentality. And since there is no time as now, there is no time as this, then we have to kind of dare to simplify and look at everything works, but then we also get lost because there is an energy dynamic to consciousness, to really be able to hold consciousness within, we have to look at the energy dynamic of what we're doing. So people kind of have awakened in different sense. You awaken when you go through puberty, when you are born, when you are like an adult. There are different levels of awakening. And yet most awakenings are stuck in a form, and when we believe that form, that will bind us. So we are here to kind of unbind the binding, to look at what bind us and realize that we don't have to get stuck in the binding. We don't have to get stuck in the knitting of things, the grind. And yet you see most people kind of get attached to how they got there and how their identity and their suffering. Most people get stuck in how they found it and the suffering of it, and then they start just talking more and more about this suffering, the fight, and thus we get like stuck. So and hence, even if we're kind of more awake, the potential to awaken is greater now than before. The potential to getting stuck is also even greater. Before, the awakening process were more of the masculine, where you have to really struggle to awaken. Well, now the feminine is here, which is kind of more like democracy. It's like everything is available, everything is easier. So it's easy to get stuck in the spoiledness of things. And hence people talk about kindness. And we assume we know what kindness is, because we kind of have lived, we have experienced kindness, but kindness in itself is deeper than what we kind of know and what we see in society. Society is like, do this, do that. But a lot of times it becomes like a mother or a dad or father who carries their kids and wanting the best for them. We think this is kindness. So we can get a little lost. Let everybody be, let everybody thrive, let everybody love. But people don't necessarily, people also need to be challenged to realize, where are you stuck? Where do you have potential to grow? So you can grow into kindness, but the essence of kindness is much more of a forgiveness. And you see, most people, we like more rules and telling how others should act, and we reduce, hate speech and all kinds of speech. We think this is kindness, and yet the kindness would be to allow you to kind of handle all kinds of attacks and realize that you are stronger than you think. It's a little bit more like military, where you are learning about your inner strength. That is true kindness. That you have a potential to forgive, you have potential to find ease within all kinds of things. That's a different kinds of kindness, one that is seldom spoken about. So thus a lot of spiritual tradition gets lost in this superficial kindness and not the inner kindness, the inner strength. That is what that is what we have the potential to build up. So then we kind of have to open up to these like 7 layers or 6 layers of within our body. When we can awaken, there has to be a heart wish to awaken. There has to be an awakening, awakeness, a wish, something inside of you to pull you forward, something that is not just controlled by the mind, something deeper is at play. So when people come to a retreat, when people come to me, they have to have something of a deeper calling. And from this awakeness of energy from the heart, we can have an awakening of the mind, that the mind can see this energy, this choice that we want to awaken, this awakening. And from there, we have to kind of allow it to come into the body. Body's the grounding down. We kind of need to be able to handle this energy into the body. So we kind of have to root it down into the body. And from there, we kind of need to allow the energy to flow. So we have to need to allow the masculine, feminine aspect of ourselves, our sexuality, that energy. You have to set it free. And from there, we open up into this vortex, which leads us deeper into our soul. And from that soul connection, the connection to past and future, we connect to the higher realities of spirit. And in the connection of all these 6 layers here, we can awaken to being. Being is kind of beyond that. Being is the infinite. Being is to say that God's next to God, and allow yourself to kind of be. So you can be the heart, you can be in love, you can be understanding, you can be empowered in the body, you can be at ease with men or women about your gender. You can be at ease with your past and your future, and you can be at ease with the creation itself. So there's many layers of energy being that we can kind of go through on our path of awakening. So in our kindness to share this, to allow this to open, we can come and allow ourselves to kind of receive this energy, receive the beauty of life, the beauty of love, the beauty of being, the beauty of happiness, the beauty of the infinite, the beauty of wisdom. That is where we can kind of come together and release life. And then we can create life, because life is created when we allow both past and future to dissolve, and then we can kind of come and see the wisdom of where we're going, the higher planes of awareness, and then we can start enjoying life. So we are now setting the sails of the boat for this new retreat, coming into a new space where we are allowing more people to come in. We're letting simplicity to arise. We're allowing ourselves to share this beauty, this simplicity, this beingness that we are here to enjoy, and to allow other people to kind of come into this space and interact and enjoy this space. So we are gonna read you a little page of my new book to kind of get us moving into this session. That this is kind of a this is kind of a release. It is an energy. Purpose is to release and reset the energy, and thus we came to page 69 of my book, The Simplicity of Love, from my book, The Ease of Being. If you haven't gotten it yet, go check it out in my bio or my website. So close your eyes, sink back, and relax. The simplicity of love. Love, as we dare to share it, we can come to find the simplicity of love. Loving might seem easy as we try to give love to our surroundings, thinking this is the way of love, but this is the way of doing and not necessarily a way of allowing. Thus, this can be felt as a forceful action. But as we get to know love, this essence of our being, then we find the simplicity of love, not depending on others for love, but only choosing it for ourselves. Then, as love is received, then love can spread, not necessarily in action, but in silence. So this is kind of why we kind of get stuck in the energy. We want to do it, we want to force it, we want to give it, but we don't receive it. We have to receive it. That is hence why we sometimes need a guide, so that we can receive it and not just understand it. The understanding comes second to receiving it. First, we have to receive it before we can allow it and share it. And sharing comes from silence. Yes. So let's bring the energy down. Into our body. The energy of this talk, the energy of today. Yeah, let's bring it in, just like a breath that you suddenly remember. Yes, we can allow. Yes, we can enjoy. Yes, we can receive. Yes, we can embrace, be embraced. And thus the body can receive this heaviness that just sinks into the body, sinks into the body, sinks into the body. I said it 3 times. Yeah, close your eyes and let it all the way down into your groin, into your butt, into your feet. And then it comes up just like a yawn. It just comes through the system. so it is. We are allowing this day. It's kind of a start of the retreat. The energy has come in. It's like less than 3 weeks, so it's starting to settle. We're starting to open this new space. Whether you are there going to be physical or you're going to be there online, whether you're in America or here, depending on everybody's different places. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be in Oslo. It's going to be a party. It's going to be a lot of energy. It's already coming in. So if you're new or you're old, it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And if you haven't let me know yet, let me know if you are planning on coming. There's still empty spaces. And I will talk to you later. And I hope you have a beautiful